Hey there, my fellow barbecue enthusiast. Mike Baker here, Baker's Barbecue. Hey, today we're going to smoke up two 2-inch thick pork steaks. I'm going to have them seasoned in my own Baker's Barbecue competition rub, available at BAKERS, BBQ.net. Be sure and check that out. And as we get later in the smoking process, and as the bark is set up on these two beautiful pork steaks, I'm going to start mopping it in my own Carolina mop sauce. This Carolina mop sauce is a mixture of vinegar, water. I've got a bunch of different spices in there, salt, pepper, garlic. There's a bunch of different things in there. And it sits overnight, comes together into a wonderful, wonderful mop sauce. It's also a barbecue sauce for pulled pork. And I'm going to be putting that on with my mop. Be mopping that on throughout the process. I will put a link down below where you can purchase one of these mops if you're interested in doing this yourself. And also where you can purchase Baker's Barbecue Competition Rub. I want to show you these pork steaks. As a 2-inch thick pork steak. So when you go to the butcher, what you want to ask for, if you want to do this, when you go to the butcher, you're going to ask for him or her to cut you 2-inch pork steaks. You want them 2-inch, center cut, bone in. That's going to be the best pork steaks you can cut. And of course, as you know, and if you don't know, pork steaks are simply a slice out of a Boston butt. So 2-inch, bone in, center cut's what you want to ask for. All right, so we're going to get these things seasoned up. I'm going to bring you in a little closer. I'm going to do a quick seasoning on these. I'm actually not going to trim. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to season them up. And then from there, we'll be getting these on the smoker. So I appreciate you watching today. Hope you fired up your smokers. You're going to cook right along with me. Let's get to smoking. We're waiting for the smoker to come up to temp. I just want to share a little bit with you about the Carolina barbecue that I talked about in the opening. I'm going to be, as you know, mopping this pork steaks later in the process once the bark is set up on the pork steaks. But I'm fascinated by Carolina barbecue. I love Carolina barbecue, Memphis barbecue, KCBS up in Kansas City, Texas barbecue, all flavors of barbecue and process of barbecue I absolutely love. But I'm really just fascinated by the whole Carolina. I love the traditional process, burning down the wood, creating your own coals, that being shoveled up under in concrete center block pits with whole hog on there. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. That'd be a perfect day to me to be able to do that every day. But what I want to do is just kind of share with you, when you go into Carolina, you got different sections of the state. Some parts of the state will be more of a mop sauce or a barbecue sauce. It'll be vinegar based with spices. There'll be other parts of the state that'll be vinegar based with some ketchup and spices, and there's going to be certain parts of the state which will be just mustard based. And all of them are fabulous. They're all just phenomenal tasting barbecue sauces and so forth. So I'll be mopping it later in the process. I will share a link down where if you want to go do some research, buy you a mop, you can. They're cheap and they're easy to use. Also, when you think about Carolina barbecue, you got to think about Rodney Scott. Now, I love all the different Carolina barbecue establishments, and I'll probably profile some more later as well. But Rodney Scott barbecue is phenomenal. I love watching his process. I love hearing his story. I love everything about what he's done for his community and what he's continuing to do. So he's got a few good books out. I'm going to drop a link down in the description as well of one of his recent books that come out. Great stories, great recipes, just something that would be a phenomenal gift idea if you want to buy somebody a gift as well. But anyway, I will drop that down there. And I just urge you, go out there, research different barbecue, research different traditions, different processes. You got Carolina barbecue, Texas barbecue, you got Memphis barbecue, Kansas City. I mean, they're all infused in their own traditions in phenomenal processes and flavors. So I love them all. I urge you to go check them out and expand that thought process when it comes to cooking. All right, we're fixing to get these pork steaks on. So hold tight and I'll be right back with you. Look at them bad boys. They're looking good. Let me tell you what, 2 inches thick. Oh yeah. We're gonna get them on. All right, let's get these bad boys on. They're looking beautiful, let me tell you what. All right, I'll put them just like that. Try to get the fat. I lit from the front of my charcoal basket, so I'm turning my heavy fat side towards that. If I can get them both to fit up in there, they're just so daggone big. Let's get them back just a little bit. Yeah. Got to make sure you got a little space between your meat. You don't want the, if you don't get space between there, it won't get any smoke on that, and the color won't be appetizing. Let's still like that. So I've got my fire lit in the front. It's going to work its way to the back, and got the fat cap right here facing that. Looking good. We've got it all shook down. So we're going to tuck it away for probably about 3 hours, and I'll come back and I'll check on it. Already about that 3.5 hour mark on the pork steaks. I'm going to go ahead and start mopping. Get it raised up. Boy, it look good. Look at that. So just take my mop sauce here. Take my mop. Just go down right on top of it, just like that. Oh yeah, it's going to be some good eating pork steaks right there. Get a little sizzle. This mop sauce, I mean, infuses flavor into it like crazy. Get on all sides of it real good. All right, that's all we're going to do to it right there. We're going to come back probably about an hour, and we'll check them again here in about an hour. Let that kind of set up a little bit, and we'll just keep adding to it. Adding to the sauce, it'll caramelize. We'll add more to it. It'll caramelize, add more to it. Perfect. All right, we'll be back here in probably about an hour. All right, so we are at about the 5 hour mark. Well, ago I said 3.5 hours. It was actually 4 hour mark. We're now at the 5 hour mark. I'm going to mop it. My plan is I'm going to mop it just one more time, let it go for another hour, and I'm going to wrap them for about 2 hours and go from there. So go ahead and get this opened up. Oh yeah, looking tasty. Get a good mop on there. Look at that. Man, that just looks delicious. Gosh dog, it looks good. Make sure you get all the edges real good, like I said a while ago. Alrighty, so let it go another hour, and then we're going to be back. Probably going to wrap it in full. I might pour a little bit of the mop sauce in with the full. We'll see how they look, and let it go from there. So we'll be back. All right, so now we are right at the 6 hour mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap them full. I'm going to put a little bit of my mop sauce in there with them, and they're going to go for 2 hours after that. Let's get them opened up here. They are looking absolutely wonderful, let me tell you. Wow, check that out right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these double wrapped in heavy duty aluminum foil. You don't want any gaps in it. I'm going to pour a little bit of my mop sauce around it. Just like that, around the base. What it'll do is it'll suck that up a little bit. I may pour just a little bit on top. So we're going to double wrap it. Take my first one up and over. Make sure you got a good tight wrap on it. Knock it down real good. I'll flip it sideways, that way you got crisscross going over your seams. Just like that right there. Put that one back in. Grab my other one here. These suckers are falling apart on me when I just pick them up. A little bit of sauce around the edges. It'll suck that back up during the process here shortly. Pour some over the top. Go ahead and do both of these at the same time, double wrap. Heavy duty aluminum foil. I'm just gonna, actually what I'm gonna do on these, I think I'm gonna fold it down to make it a little bit easier. Pull that top over, it's kind of how I do my ribs. You want it good and tight, you don't want it steaming, you want it actually sitting there continuing to cook and that sauce getting sucked up in it. So I'm just gonna take these, put them back on. Shut that back down. So we got them all tucked away and full, back on the smoker. Got that sauce in there with them. Those pork steaks inside the foil is going to continue to tenderize. They're going to suck up that mop sauce in there. And I mean, they're going to be absolutely delicious. Let me tell you what, some good Carolina 2-inch thick pork steaks. You can't beat that. So stick around. Here shortly, we'll show you the finished product. All right there, my fellow barbecue enthusiasts. We got the 2-inch pork steak, center cut, bone in, all done. They cooked a total of 8 hours. I let them go for about 4 hours unwrapped, no mopping. And at the 4-hour mark, I mopped them. I mopped them again at the 5-hour mark. And if you recall, at the 6-hour mark, I went ahead and I wrapped them in full, and I poured some of my Carolina mop sauce around it and also on top of it. So we're going to open them up here. We're going to see how we did. I also got 2 sweet potatoes I cooked here on the side. Move those out of the way. Move one of these pork steaks out of the way. We're going to cut into one of them. And I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer here. We're going to open this one up. We're going to check it out. All right, so let's get this bad boy opened up. Chopping block's trying to spin on me there. Boy, it's hot. Whew. Even though it's been resting for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so, it is still hot. Yeah, check that out right there. That is a good looking pork steak. Tell you what, see if I can't get it out of here without it falling apart on me. Well, I tell you what, it's falling apart on me, so I'm not going to be able to do it. But look at this right here. We tear right into the center, take a fork. I would take a plastic fork, but I don't have a plastic fork. Just go right down the center. Just tear you a piece out just like that. Bring this piece up here. I'm going to show it to you. Look at that, man. That is some juicy, juicy pork steak right there. Take a little bite of that. Wow. Nothing like that Carolina mop sauce on that. Soaks it up into the pork steak. When you put it in the foil, put it around it like I did, you got it mopped on there throughout the cooking process. It's absolutely delicious. So I recommend you guys definitely try, I've said this before in other videos, definitely try doing a Carolina mop sauce. I'll drop you a starter recipe down in the bottom in the description as well. You can take that recipe, fine tune it however you want to. You can add stuff to it, whatever you want to do to it. Smoke it up, let it go, take it off, feed it to your family. Friends are going to absolutely love it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this cook today. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. If you did, please hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much. Until the next time I see you, happy smoking.